So Cali Muscle released a video showing him holding a jug of Crystal Geyser spring water from a store somewhere. He pulled it off the shelf. Pointed out that it has sodium in it and some other things, and it's not good for you, etc., etc. Mark Loebleiner over Tiger Fitness saw this video, so he made a video about it because he thinks it's ridiculous and that Cali Muscle is basically lost his mind, and that his unsafe practices, if anybody listens to him, they're going to harm themselves, or the potential is there that they could harm themselves. Now, Mark expressly mentions in his video, points out that all he does all day, nowadays, this is what he says, all he does is read studies and studies and studies, educate himself and gain more knowledge, etc., and so on. But apparently can't do a simple Google search before he makes a video about something. All right, so specifically Crystal Geyser. Well, here we have sources, United States Attorney's Office. I guess that's kind of reliable, huh? Central District of California. DOJ menu, an official website of the United States government. All right, this is from Thursday, January 9th, 2020, for immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Central District of California. Company that produces Crystal Geyser natural alpine spring water, that's a mouthful, pleaded guilty this morning to federal charges of illegally storing and transporting hazardous waste created from filtering arsenic out of spring water at its facility in Olancha, California. C.G. Roxane, LLC, pleaded guilty to 1 count of unlawful storage of hazardous waste and 1 count of unlawful transportation of hazardous material in a plea agreement recently filed in the United States District Court. C.G. Roxane agreed to pay a criminal fine of $5 million. According to court documents, C.G. Roxane obtained water by drawing groundwater from the eastern slope of the Sierra Nevada mountains that contained naturally occurring arsenic. The company used sand filters to reduce the concentration of arsenic so the water would meet federal drinking water standards. To maintain the effectiveness of the sand filters, C.G. Roxane backflushed the filters with a sodium hydroxide solution, which then generated thousands of gallons of arsenic-contaminated waste water. For approximately 15 years, C.G. Roxane discharged the arsenic-contaminated wastewater into a man-made pond known as the Arsenic Pond at its Olancha facility along Highway 395. So it goes on and on. We don't need to read more, correct? You get the idea. Simple Google search is all anybody would have to do. Is Crystal Geyser water bad for you? Crystal Geyser water does not score high on nutrition and pH. It contains PFAS that have adverse health effects. It has high levels of sodium that cause high blood pressure and risk of kidney damage. It has a low content of calcium and magnesium, the chief nutrients in drinking water. It contains some amount of arsenic, which is a toxic heavy metal. Crystal Geyser has its own recycled plastic plant in California where it receives recycled plastic and processes it to make rPET pellets. These pellets are sent to the company's bottling plant to manufacture bottles for Crystal Geyser water. Company assures that its recycled PET or rPET bottles are safe, quite possibly, because studies have shown that their rPET bottles do not contain bisphenol A, BPA, or chemical phthalates. PET has the nod of the FDA and other worldwide regulatory agencies as being safe for use in the food and beverage industry. There is some research showing that when exposed to sun and heat, plastic bottles release toxic chemicals that leach into the drinking water. However, Crystal Geyser refutes this claim. Meanwhile, researchers at Goethe University have found that PET water bottles release compounds that inhibit estrogen and other reproductive hormones in the body. Other research shows that although PET does not contain BPA or phthalates, it can cause reproduction issues, stunted growth, poor energy levels, and other health risks. It is not safe to regularly drink water from plastic bottles, period. Glass and metal bottles are emerging as eco-friendly and healthy alternatives to plastic bottles amidst growing concerns that they cause cancer, fertility issues, and brain damage. PFAS are a group of chemicals consisting of about 5,000 different compounds. U.S. government has woken up to mull over setting standards for PFAS in drinking water following the detection of the chemical in nearly 40 out of 100 bottled waters that were tested. Tests conducted by the Consumer Reports Agency of the USA have found low levels of PFAS in crystal geyser water. However, a laboratory report submitted by the company to the Vermont Department of Environmental Conservation has a declaration that its bottled water does not contain PFAS. PFAS are harmful chemicals, can result in cancer, liver damage, poor fertility, thyroid issues, obesity, high cholesterol, also lead to learning difficulties in children. Here is a quick guide on the presence of different chemicals and minerals found in crystal geyser water. Arsenic, yes. Sodium, yes. Minerals, yes. Chlorine, no. Fluoride, yes. Plastic, yes. Salt, yes. PFAS, yes. Drinking water of millions of Americans contaminated with forever chemicals. Water of about 26 million is contaminated as new data offers the most robust look into exactly which communities are polluted. This article came out, where's the date on this son of a bitch, August 2023. It includes studies that all the way dating back to 2019. Drinking water consumed by millions of Americans from hundreds of communities spread across the United States are contaminated, dangerous levels of toxic chemicals. According to testing data released Thursday by the Environmental Protection Agency, data shows that drinking water systems serving small towns to large cities, from tiny Collegeville, Pennsylvania to Fresno, California, contain measurable levels of so-called forever chemicals, a family of durable compounds long used in a variety of commercial products that are now known to be harmful. The water of as many as 26 million Americans is contaminated, according to an analysis of new EPA data. Studies have linked these chemicals to cancers, immunodeficiencies, reproductive harms, and developmental effects in children. Scientists and environmental advocates have increasingly warned about the harms of chemicals like PFOA and PFOS in recent decades, leading to an agreement between EPA and chemical manufacturers such as DuPont and 3M to phase out PFOA altogether by 2015. However, lasting pollution of the environment and human bodies with forever chemicals continues. Studies show nearly all Americans have some level of PFOA, PFOS, and similar chemicals scientifically known as PFAS circulating in their bodies. Additional analysis calculates that hundreds of millions, of Americans are probably exposed through drinking water contamination. All right, this is for national news release. Tap water study detects PFAS forever chemicals across the U.S. USGS estimates at least 45% of tap water contains one or more PFAS. This website is USGS, Science for a Changing World. An official website of the United States government. At least 45% of the nation's tap water is estimated to have one or more types of the chemicals known as PFAS, forever chemicals, according to a new study by U.S. Geological Survey. More than 12,000 different types of these PFAS, not all of which can be detected with current tests. The USGS study tested for the presence of only 32 types. Here's something very interesting. This is from new research shows that rainwater in most locations on Earth contain levels of chemicals that greatly exceed safety levels. And again, we're talking about forever chemicals, PFASs. These synthetic substances are used in nonstick pans, firefighting foam, water repellent clothes, and on and on and on. Researchers from Stockholm University say it's vitally important that the use of these substances is rapidly restricted. There are around 4,500 of these fluoride-based compounds, and they are found in almost every dwelling on Earth in hundreds of everyday products, including food packaging, nonstick cookware, rain gear, adhesives, paper, and paints. This new study, which looks at 4 specific chemicals, only 4, suggests that levels of PFAS in rainwater around the globe often greatly exceed U.S. drinking water advisory levels. Soil around the world is similarly contaminated. Study's findings lead the authors to conclude that a planetary boundary has been crossed, that there simply is no safe space on Earth to avoid these substances. We argue here that we are not within this safe operating space anymore because we now have these chemicals everywhere, and these safety advisories, we can't achieve them anymore, said Professor Ian Cousins, the lead author from Stockholm University. You know, a simple Google search, and the dullest amongst us, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but simple Google search, and there's more information there than you have time to read about all the toxins that are in water, that are in, not only, especially though, in your tap water. If you're not drinking out of a well, and that well water isn't tested regularly, and you know what's in it, you're drinking shit. You're drinking you're consuming, potentially, in all likelihood, you're consuming some very hazardous chemicals in this drinking water. I shit you not. I know it sounds ridiculous, right? So we're not going to have to prescribe all this stuff to guys that want to be women soon. Just keep drinking the drinking water. Just find some of the worst offenders, Google, move there, drink that public water. I mean, you're bathing in it, showering in it, whatever. Biggest organ in your body is your skin, right? You're washing your hair in it, plus you're washing your hair in whatever kind of shampoo, conditioner you're using. What's all in that? Putting deodorant under your arms, what's in that? What's in that? Then you're washing your clothes in the water. You're putting more chemicals in to wash your clothes. Are you even cognizant of what's in that? What chemicals are in that? Okay, so these are these environmental endocrine disruptors that I've spoken of many, many times, but people they don't watch those videos. They're not popular. Environmental endocrine disruptors. Now we just have endocrine disruptors. They've trimmed it down, that title, because it's not only, it literally is in the environment because it's in the atmosphere, it's in radio frequency waves passing through you all day long, microwaves, all that shit, radio waves, 24/7, your cell phone, every other thing, right? All that radiation passing through 24/7, that's an environmental endocrine disruptor. It's in your drinking water, and guess what? It's in most bottled waters. Most bottled waters. Many bottled waters that claim one thing on a lab sheet that they submit to the federal government that qualifies them, these waters, when they're pooled and tested, they're found to still have shit in there that's not considered, it's not claimed on the sheet. And Callie is right. That sodium that's in that drinking water, see, anybody with 2 fucking brain cells to rub together, he wants to talk about who's got a smooth brain, Mark Low Blunter does. I don't have anything against him in particular, but sometimes it's better to engage your brain before you engage your fucking mouth. And believe me, if Callie, I think he's doing something stupid, I'll say so, but I think he's going down the right road in a lot of regards now. He's figuring some shit out. And he's telling you good shit. That sodium that's in that water isn't because it's naturally occurring in that water. That sodium is part of the process for their filtration, how that they filtrate the water and shit. And sodium that's found in drinking water, sodium, when we talk about sodium that's found in drinking water, isn't naturally occurring sodium. It's an entirely different type of sodium. More than one type of sodium. And fluoride, what does it do? It promotes the regeneration of enamel in your teeth. But you ever read on the toothpaste, on the side of the toothpaste, if you have fluoride toothpaste? I don't use fluoride. I don't use aluminum. I get deodorants and toothpaste without these ingredients. But it says on the side there not to be consumed, that you shouldn't swallow it. It's because of fluoride. Because a small amount of fluoride may contribute to the restoration of enamel in your teeth. It may. But a large amount of fluoride is as dangerous as rat fucking poisoning if you're going to consume it. So it's not something I want in my water that I'm going to drink. And there are different kinds of fluoride too. And all of these PFAS and these forever chemicals are considered fluorines. They're a category of chemicals considered to be a fluorine or fluorines, So the fine details matter because a lot of these names are very similar. They're chemically, structurally related, but they're absolutely not the same. They're all different. So like me, I drink well water. I've been drinking well water now for over a decade. And the well water's tested. I mean, it's part of any time you move in anywhere. When you buy a house, when they rent it to you, anything else. If you're going to buy it for the mortgage, you need to have an inspection. And part of that inspection is the well water is tested so you know everything that's in it. You just maintain the upkeep on your filtration system. And then what kind of filtration system do you have? There's all kinds of different kinds. But there's an easy way around this. You're not fucking damned to hell if you're drinking tap water. If you continue just to drink it, you're not helping yourself. You're not doing yourself any favors. But you can put a filter on the tap water. Do your research, get a decent filter, put it on the faucet. Not only do I drink well water, not only do I have a filter that's as tall as myself, damn near it, downstairs. I have a pretty elaborate filtration system down there. And the water at the faucet has another filter, has a Brita filter on it. Yeah. So, can the water that you're consuming be harmful to you? Is water dangerous? It absolutely can be. Hell yes, it can be. Depends on the water. All water's not the same. So just take some of the shit into consideration. All these endocrine disruptors, they play hell on testosterone levels, by the way. If you want to just research and Google and read about that, in and of itself, that has everything to do with the declination in testosterone production over the past 50, 60 years. Everything to do with it. The continually lowering, normalizing illness of what is a normal and healthy range for testosterone, what is healthy, right? Because if everybody's low, now it's normal to be low. So it's absolutely lower. So, there are guys out there that want to cry bullshit. This is fucking science. These are the same motherfuckers that, on the other hand, want to talk about something as bro science as opposed to being science, right? Well, science, has let the cat out of the bag on all these endocrine disruptors. They're telling you. I'm not telling you. I'm just I'm in the middle, right? Just a messenger. I'm just delivering a message, information from here, and I'm putting it out right now. So, Cali Muscle, talking about that there's sodium in there and it can cause edema, it can cause those. It absolutely 100% totally truthfully can, yes. Yes, it absolutely can. Yes. Anyway, that's it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And that might be because horses maybe have better sense than we have sometimes. Take care, have an awesome day.